Welcome to Date with Destiny Bali 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Robbins!
How you doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? Bring out the wheel, keep the energy up. Unleash the power within the United States of America. Business mastery. You signed up for a date with destiny, and it's a blind date. And I know that you getting here was not an easy task. I welcome you. In fact, we have in this room, 41 countries are represented in this room. This process we're going to go through has been refined for almost 30 years with millions of people from all over the world, from every walk of life, every religion, every background, every culture. So my goal is to get us to be able to respect and appreciate our culture while expanding our choices beyond our conditioning. What we're talking about here is a life where you're able to experience so much more lasting joy, happiness, freedom, pleasure, and love, and so much less frustration, overwhelm, anger, sadness, feeling like you're not enough, feeling uncertain. Those are the shifts that we're here to make.
I have conflicts with my husband.
And the conflict is between what?
His work and the family.
So what does she really want? She wants to feel important, significant, appreciated.
Yeah, I always love you and I always do.
This is the first time I heard you say you love me in 28 years. You should told me every day. Every time you see me. Before you go to work. Before you come back home.
Well, I go to work at 4:30 in the morning. Come home about 1 o'clock at night. Everybody is asleep when I get home. Before I go to work, everybody's still sleeping.
That's why you need to stay home a little longer.
Look at her face. Look what you can do with just a look, when you stay with her. Look at her face. You can reduce her to tears in a moment when you are present. There we go, that's it. What's the story now?
He truly loves me.
Truly loves me. Look at the difference in her state.
The night before I came out here, my wife told me she was leaving me. And she has feelings to someone else.
Is your core masculine or feminine? I'm sure you have both, but which one's dominant in your core, regardless of recently?
Masculine.
Okay. So you've adapted and you're not being yourself. When you're not being yourself, it's very hard to have a relationship be alive because you're not there. So what do we call the masculine part of you? If that part's still alive.
It's alive.
How do you know?
Because I know. I feel it.
So now, moving forward, I know that I can create magic with my life, and I'm so excited to write, to paint my canvas now.
Everything in their life changes when the story of your life changes. And all of us here walked in with a story. And Date with Destiny is a chance for you to date a new story. And when you have a new story, you will have a new life, because our life is controlled not by the events of our lives, but by the meaning we give those events. But pain is sometimes the sculptor of our souls, as much as we hate to experience it. Without pain, much of our life would not have the depth it has today. Without pain, we could not appreciate pleasure. Conflict, suffering, and pain are just stories. If you'd like the whole lesson in one sentence, I'd say it's this: trade your expectation for appreciation, and the story of your life will change right now. Centered, happy, focused, clear. Hear it as long as you can. How happy can you feel? How focused, how clear, how centered, how strong. There it is right there! Come on, come on, come on! She lives in suffering, this woman.
Yep.
you can only push down parts of you so long before it becomes so tiring that it psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually exhausts you. What parts have you been pushing down?
Like my sexuality, but I'm very comfortable in that when I get to express it with people.
What would we call this little stripper?
Kitten.
Kitten, ladies and gentlemen. Let's come up with something a little different than kitten. Heel, devils, come out! Let's try that again.
Roxy.
Roxy, ladies and gentlemen. The quality of my life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty I can comfortably live with.
Your teachings led me to want to acknowledge how my mother's pain crafted me to where I can help others. I rejected that so hard.
Yeah.
And now that last emotion, now that I've understood that, is love.
Oh, so gratitude, compassion. Give him a hand. Beautiful. What's going to happen to this girl?
She's going to fall in love and get married and have kids.
Tell us what happens to this young woman. What happens to her as a result of living with those things every day?
She will be happy. She will be an inspiration for her kids. And probably if she has fun and is loving and passionate, we'll find someone who wants to share that with her.
That's beautiful. Give her a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice. Give her a hand.
What you focus on a moment-to-moment basis, for many of you, you'll find it's going to be the thing that has most controlled and shaped the focus of your life up until this point, maybe for the last 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years in some cases.
What should be done with those blue people?
They need a bit of sex.
They need a bit of sex. Life's about what?
Me.
And who matters?
Me.
And what if it hurts other people what you do?
I don't care.
You don't care. What would Red do?
I will provide them a condom for a safe sex, so they are... I will sell.
He'll sell them a condom so they can have safe sex.
I like going natural.
And so he dragged me into the woods and just brutally raped me again and again. I conceived out of that. My parents got together and said, you will get married, you will marry this man. And it started a year-long every day of being beaten or sold to a friend. He took my baby and literally gouged his eye out of his head and pulled his eye straight out of his head, and I shot him. I said, you can beat me all you want, but you're not going to beat my baby.
You're an incredibly powerful woman.
Thanks to you, 30 years ago. I'll never forget when you said to me, this story doesn't make your life. You make your life.
Then now it's time for the girl of you to be able to come back out and play. The guy is more than well developed.
I have the most unimaginable life. I have a heart so full of gratitude for this process.
I doubt there's not a person in this room who hasn't been inspired by you today, right now, by who you are. Raise your hand if you're suicidal. That would be perfect.
Yes, I've been a very long time, and it's always in my head.
Tell me, Zoe, what was your story up until now? Your story has been the story of...
a lonely girl thinking nobody loves her. So she got depressed and thought about the end of the life.
So now tell me what the story becomes.
A woman who is loving their parents and loving herself and loving everything about other people too.
Find what's beautiful in your father. He does love you. Stop judging him and stop judging yourself. But I bet if you see what to do, you're the kind of man who'll do it. You're the kind of man that makes things happen. I can feel it in you. And that's why. If you meant to kill yourself, you'd make that happen too. But something inside of you yearns for more, or you wouldn't be in this room. That's why we're all here. Because some part of us wants more. More. We're all like this.
Last month, my boyfriend died. He fell off a balcony in Thailand. My old question was, so why does this keep happening to me?
What's your new question?
Can I love myself and others more and appreciate what I've learned even more?
I need to look after myself, be happy, you know, and appreciate and love and not take for granted the things that I have in my life right now.
Most intimate relationships do not end because of lack of love. The majority of them actually have a deep love for each other. They end because of lack of intimacy.
Unfortunately, somehow in this world, we've seemed to have lost the sisterhood amongst women. I'm just very passionate about women honoring other women and the magnificence of women and the beauty of women and the femininity of women.
你愿意嫁给我吗?
Are you willing to marry me?
If he was a stranger, you would give him more grace than that. Not someone you've been with 4 years of your life. The scary part is this young man, he's got such a pure heart. He's on the ground there, still sitting there, probably hoping that maybe I'll talk some sense into her, not realizing I'm trying to talk sense into him. So I see you playing at level 3 for sure. 3-dimensional love, real love, not number 1 dimension. What's 1-dimensional love? Demand. And I'm mad if I don't get it. 2-dimensional, horse trading, whoring. 3-dimensional, the first thing that's real is 3-dimensional, right? Giving love because it's your gift. Or which level did she honestly respond from? You tell me.
第二阶段, second level.
You will delay until there is certainty, not by what she says with her mouth, but by what you see in her eyes, her face, her body, and not your projection. 3 to 6 months, that's all I ask for you, no one else. And out of respect to her, because she said to you, if you were listening, I have unresolved issues. They didn't get resolved just now. Will you shake on it?
谢谢.
Is there a dark side of you? There's the problem. He doesn't even acknowledge there is a dark side of him. So that means he associates so much bad things to the dark side. He watched too much Star Wars. He thinks the dark side is really dark. What could you not be for your father? And don't tell me nothing, because it's not true.
If it, you know, if I was in jail, or if I was, you know, bad boy, yeah, I guess.
And then you got to be willing to open instead of locking down and being fearful and shutting down. You got to be willing to go to that dark place and have fun with it. Can you do that from this place?
Oh yeah.
No hesitancy, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you, gentlemen, saw some women up here that danced really sexy, but it was masculine to you because it felt constructed? Raise your hands. Look at this. Ladies, you think guys don't see that. The thing they responded to out of these women, for example, this lady here was one of the highest ranking, probably number 2 here, it seemed like, from energy, from the sound. Would you agree with me? Let's hear about her again. And I want you to notice something. The lady on the right, you saw here that this woman was working a little bit, but she seemed to be having fun. And the biggest thing a man is looking for is freedom. What do you feel different in these men than the men that were dancing like crazy?
They don't need to prove anything. They're strong and proud, and they're men.
What do you feel?
Well, I've got the feeling that I'm getting stronger or something.
She's experiencing real presence. So it's rare to find a man who has any presence anymore. But The reason is most of you ladies are either trying to criticize, which is what she does non-verbally. She criticizes constantly, try to make him less. So he'll come and please her, him being any man. Or what you try to do is control. And control makes you have to be masculine. If the man agrees to the control, he loses any sense of himself. What would it mean for someone to try to take your freedom, take away who you are, make you have to try to become something, try to please something, versus just owning yourself? Once again, find that part of yourself, the part of you that will not settle, the part of you that would face any threat, any challenge, rather than have taken from you what is yours. Make that sound again from that place in your body now. Brothers to the end. Ladies, capture right now your feminine. You can close your eyes if you want, but you need to find your feminine. And the way you're going to find it is not trying to control it. It's just moving. It's not working it. It's just moving your body in any way you find to explore with your hands, your face, your body, your voice. Close your eyes and just feel. Don't try to work it. Just feel and start to move and explore. You are proof that words are only 7% of human communication. So I'm honored to know you and to meet you and to spend time with you, and I appreciate your gift, and I would love to receive it from you. What does this do to your past? You've had some rough times in your past where you went through abuse, and you obviously had some tough times where, if I remember correctly, weren't you held hostage or something and raped?
Yeah.
First of all, to have this level of centeredness after all that deserves unbelievable amount of money for starters, right?
And I've already agreed to go to schools, high schools and elementary and college to share my story, but share it from a place of power and love and grace and feminine beauty instead of from the pain that I lived in most of my life.
All great stories are about moving slavery for freedom. Yours is now one. Give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen. And you've not had a breakthrough all week.
No.
Not at all. How do you know?
Because I feel so uptight and I see people that are so happy and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me?
If you keep asking what the hell is wrong with me, doesn't matter how good things are, you'll immediately find something that's wrong with you even if it's not there. You just had a breakthrough, ladies and gentlemen. Because in relationship, we try to make it perfect or right or be right. And we take on a position, and then we have little to no influence. But if this is your position, no position at all, then a lot more can be experienced. Now, I don't know what you'd call that, but I'd call it a breakthrough.
Got it.
Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. You've stepped from being a boy to a man.
Yeah.
That's what you've done.
You remember when all the guys stood up and were so masculine?
Yes.
I felt scared and I had so much fear for it. I had to get out of the room.
The word you attach to your experience becomes your experience. So I want you to think for a moment about what it would be if you were excited by masculine energy. If that was really it, and you were just hiding underneath it because you were trying to hang on to your mask. And then I'd ask the men in this room to see if they'd give you a gift by stepping into the core of who they are and what they stand for, and to rise up, gentlemen, now. If a woman can actually develop joy for a man's freedom, you will own his soul forever. But the gracious part of you, that's the part of the man you've become, that's the part that's going to take charge more often. And that's part of what the purpose of life is. It's not about me, it's about we.
I, Blair, see, hear, feel, and know that my purpose in life is to be strong and inspiring, to feel open and gracious, to experience obscene excitement and cheekiness, and to give the real me to everyone.
I just see, hear, feel, and know that I will never, ever indulge in this stupid, destructive, silly emotion of withdrawal and give it up!
We've arrived, my friends. What an incredible 6 days it's been. And there are no coincidences in life. Everything that's happened in your life has guided you to this moment right now. Destiny is not in the future, it's in the here and now. Within all of us is the possibility of greatness, a calling to be great. This past week has cultivated that seed of passion and transformed into a life of unlimited possibility. An extraordinary life is sculpted by moments of decisions, moments like right now. Feel the grace that guides you, the grace that's in you, as you, it is you. Remember, life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. I can't thank you enough for playing full out with me this week. I know you've given your all, and I look forward to being with you again sometime very soon. Until then, live strong, love your life, and live with passion. God bless.